because people do not breathe, they don't allow their organs to expand. Okay? Now, if you blow into a balloon, what happens to the balloon? It expands, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now put your arms down by your sides, and now look at your belly, and now breathe in. I didn't see your belly move. Okay, breathe out. Okay. Now breathe in again. Now you're breathing properly. Okay? But the average person does reverse breathing. In other words, when they breathe in, they literally suck their stomach in as opposed to allowing their stomach to expand. And I've been doing this for 37 years.
Who the hell does that?
97% of Americans suck their stomach in when they breathe in. They do reverse breathing. Most people do not breathe properly. Okay? Now put your fingers on your solar plexus. Okay, that's too high. Okay, still too high. A little bit lower. Now breathe in. Is that on the solar plexus? You felt it, right? I saw it move.
Yeah.
So that's your solar plexus. Now, what organ is directly under your solar plexus? Your stomach. And what organ is directly behind the stomach? The pancreas. And what organ is directly to the left of the stomach? The spleen.
Mm-hmm.
And what organ is directly to the right of the stomach is the gallbladder. And the liver is to the right of that. So when you breathe in, your kidneys, which are behind the stomach, your liver and spleen, your stomach and pancreas, and your gallbladder all expand. And when you breathe out, you contract, and all of those organs are squeezed. Just like you would pet a dog,
mm-hmm.
When you breathe out, you're squeezing your organs. When you breathe in, you're expanding your organs.
Right. Makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense.
Only
all
because
right?
the diaphragm is allowing it to do so.
The diaphragm. Okay, now, the muscle in your arm, what makes it go up?
The muscles, fibers contract.
Okay, now, is there a thought impulse to make the fibers contract? Or does it just go up on its own? Aha.
Hit the thought input.
So there's no action unless there's a thought that precedes it. Yes or no?
Okay.
The thought always precedes the action.
Good logic.
Okay.
I can do that. I can play that game too.
So the issue is most people do not breathe properly, which means they don't squeeze their organs or expand their organs, which would make their organs function better, right?
Basically, you're pumping them.
You're pumping the organs. Okay, now, if you're angry, what happens to your muscles?
You tense up and you stop breathing.
You contract and you stop breathing. If you are nervous or anxious, what happens to your muscles?
Same.
The same thing. They contract. If you're worried about something, if you're obsessive or compulsive, what happens? Same thing. Contraction. So, when the muscles contract, blood does not flow, blood oxygen does not flow, blood nutrients don't get to where they're going, which means...
And more importantly, carbon dioxide is not expelled.
Which is the toxin that's in the blood. Now, if you were taught in high school that breathing was the only thing that purified your blood,
you were taught wrong.
If you were taught that, then you would be breathing better and thinking more about breathing and probably not think about smoking. And you'd be more concerned about air pollution. The universal you, not necessarily you, but the universal you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the average person, 25% of Americans smoke a pack of cigarettes a day.
Yeah.
That's 1 out of 4. So there's a bunch of other ones that smoke less than that. Now, According to the latest statistics from 2010, 240,000 people die each year from smoking.
And smoking-related diseases.
Smoking-related diseases. Only 40,000 die from car accidents.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So there's mothers against drunk driving, there's fathers against drunk driving, there's rock stars against drunk driving.
Yeah.
But nobody's against cigarette smoking.
Dogs against drunk driving.
High school principals against drunk driving.
Yeah.
Okay. So the point is, sleep causes more accidents. Sleep deprivation
You got that right.
causes more accidents than drinking.
Probably most automobile accidents.
Most automobile, okay, falling asleep, which means lack of oxygen in the blood.
Or
Because if you have enough oxygen, you're probably not going to fall asleep. Okay? Now, the issue for me is, as a doctor of Oriental medicine, as a licensed acupuncture physician, as a healer by training and trade, the issue for me is that stress causes you to contract, not allow the blood to flow, which means that organs get starved, organs break down, organs fail, organs get diseased, premature death. So what causes disease in America, not the rest of the world, but what causes disease in America is poor breathing and poor diet. And what causes both of those is stress. Now, I have the answer for the breathing, I have the answer for the diet, and I have the answer for the stress. Which one do you want first? Which answer do you want first? Okay, Qigong is the answer for stress. Qigong is the answer for breathing. And juicing, which is what we're here today for, is to learn about diet. Okay? Now, if you're under stress, you want to feel better. So, the average person reaches for coffee, cigarettes, alcohol, or food. Okay? To make themselves feel better. The average person doesn't say, I'm going to go for a walk. The average person doesn't say, I'm going to go to the ocean and take a swim. The average person doesn't say, oh, let me get on my bicycle and take a ride.
I head to the gym.
Okay, or the gym. But the average person reaches for an oral fixation.
That's true. No argument there.
Okay? Coffee, cigarettes, candy, gum, chocolate,
Chocolate's good.
beer, wine, some beverage, alcoholic beverage. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's an oral fixation for I don't feel good. And I want to feel better.
Compounding this, true. Everything
Okay.
I agree with. Compounding this is a food industry that probably knows more about addiction than any doctor on the freaking planet.
Okay.
And they know how to tailor food
To
get
feed your addiction.
people hurt.
Exactly. Nobody doesn't like Sara Lee, but you can't eat just one. You know,
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
tastes
yeah.
so good. So they've got all these slogans to get you to eat more of their food. And there's excitotoxins in the food. And the excitotoxins are actually drugs that will make you addicted to the food.
Yes.
Okay?
Well, food is manipulated in the same way that nicotine is manipulated within cigarettes. They add nicotine
They add
to
it.
cigarettes.
Right.
All right.
So they
Same
add
thing with
things.
food.
Exactly.
And they target children
Mm-hmm.
deliberately by adding certain chemicals, mostly sugar and salt,
Mm-hmm.
get the little kids hooked on this crap,
Mm-hmm.
not to mention the cartoons on TV.
Right.
We're on the same page with all this stuff.
Okay. So, what causes disease in America is the poor diet and the stress and the breathing.
And the lack of exercise.
And the lack of exercise. Okay. Now, the top 3 causes of heart disease is high-fat diet, lack of exercise, and smoking. The top 3 causes of lung cancer are smoking, high-fat diet, and lack of exercise. So heart disease and lung cancer, the 3 causes are the same.
Yep.
Pretty amazing. So what can we do to stop that? Is through meditation and breathing and internal exercise with Qigong. And that's what I teach.
Well,
Okay.
that's nice, but no, not quite.
So by calming and
You're
relaxing,
you're leaving the biggest thing out,
which is,
the will to do something.
okay,
All that, none of that will happen unless you want it to happen. Unless that individual wants it to happen. You cannot, here's an old adage, and you know this, you can take the horse to the water, but you can't make the guy drink.
okay. Well, I'm glad you brought this up because I was going to get to that, but you beat me to the punch, and it's okay. The issue is human beings are not logical.
No, of course not.
So just because I present you with the answer doesn't mean you're going to do it. Okay? So how do we get past logic to will? And that was the point that you were making. If you don't have the will to make the change.
It's even more than that, in my opinion. It's
more
not
than
just a
will.
matter of will. It's a matter of, I don't give a rat's ass, and I don't care.
Okay, well, you wouldn't be talking to me if you didn't give a rat's ass.
No, I'm talking,
right.
well, we're talking a general minimum.
We're talking to my audience.
You're talking, yes.
We're talking to my audience.
Well, that audience being there
means they care.
Even the act of actually being there, you can never get my brother to come.
Okay. And there's a lot of people I can't get to come.
And you never will.
So my point is, what really motivates people? The only thing that motivates people is fear of pain.
No money.
I don't think, no, because there's too many poor people. If lack of money was a motivation, there wouldn't be as many poor people as there are. People in America are poor because they're choosing to be poor. It's being poor of spirit. Okay? There's many people who are homeless, down and out, and a year later, they're on their feet, driving a car in an apartment. Okay? It takes you about a year to get back on your feet. If you have the will. Okay? If you're poor in spirit, then you'll just go with whatever happens. There's too many poor people to say lack of money is a motivator. Okay? It is fear of pain that is the real motivator. And if people think they're going to be in pain, then they will move away from the pain. They won't move towards pleasure, but they will move away from pain. Now, how many people have you heard of who have lung cancer who still smoke? How many people have you heard of who have diabetes and still eat sugar?
I can name you, I can name you everyone that has those diseases are still doing that to themselves, what they should not be doing to themselves.
Okay. So
that is almost pretty damn close to 100%.
Okay, that's mental illness. Okay? Now, David Satcher, who's the former Surgeon General and the only person to be Surgeon General and Secretary of Health, Education, and Welfare simultaneously, said that the definition of mental wellness or mental health is the ability to take care of your physical health. If you are sick, then by definition, you're mentally ill. So if you have lung cancer and you're still smoking, you're mentally ill. If you have diabetes and you're still eating sugar, you're mentally ill. If you have high cholesterol and you're still eating meat, you're mentally ill. So by definition, 97% of Americans are mentally ill because they've been provided with the facts. They've been provided that exercise is important. They don't do it. They've been provided with high-fat, high-sugar diets will make you sick. They're still eating them. They've been provided with the facts that fast food is unhealthy. And if you eat fast food more than once a month, you will surely get high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. They're still eating it.
Now you got to be careful about when you say fast food.
Well, there's a movie
Yes.
called by Morgan Spurlock. What's the name of the movie?
Yeah. Supersize Me.
Supersize Me. Okay.
He is still struggling to this day
To
get
recover.
that crap off his body.
Okay, and that movie was 3 years ago.
Yes. Because
You followed him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's still fighting to get that. Yeah, he's still fighting because it.
Now,
it
he
grows.
only ate it for 30 days.
I know.
In 30 days, he ruined his body so badly that 3 years later, he's still struggling with his weight. Okay?
Yeah.
I think that's very telling. Okay? So, how can you help? How can I help people that don't want to be helped? I can't.
You can't.
I cannot. I can only help the people who want to be helped. And that's why I'm making this video for you. I'm not doing it for the masses. Masses don't care. I'm making this video for you. If you're listening to me, call me 561-502-6200. Go to youtube.com/mysticmaster49. Thanks. Bye.